How confident should we be that this will be a fair election, and what are you prepared to do over the next 5+ weeks, because it'll not only be to Election Day, but also counting some ballots, mail-in ballots after Election Day? What are you prepared to do to reassure the American people that the next president will be the legitimate winner of this election? Mr. President, 2 minutes.
So when I listened to Joe talking about a transition, there's been no transition from when I won. I won that election. And if you look at crooked Hillary Clinton, if you look at all of the different people, there was no transition because they came after me trying to do a coup. They came after me spying on my campaign. They started from the day I won and even before I won, from the day I came down the escalator with our First Lady. They were a disaster. They were a disgrace to our country. And we've caught them. We've caught them all. We've got it all on tape. We've caught them all. And by the way, you gave the idea for the Logan Act against General Flynn. You better take a look at that because we caught you in a sense. And President Obama was sitting in the office. He knew about it too. So don't tell me about a free transition because we caught you in a sense. And President Obama was sitting in the office. He knew about it too. So don't tell me about a free transition. As far as the ballots are concerned, it's a disaster. A solicited ballot, okay, solicited is okay. You're soliciting, you're asking, they send it back, you send it back. I did that. If you have an unsolicited, they're sending millions of ballots all over the country. There's fraud. They found them in creeks. They found some with the name Trump, just happened to have the name Trump just the other day in a waste paper basket. They're being sent all over the place. They sent 2 in a Democrat area. They sent out 1,000 ballots. Everybody got 2 ballots. This is going to be a fraud like you've never seen. The other thing, it's nice on November 3rd, you're watching and you see who won the election. And I think we're going to do well because people are really happy with the job we've done. But you know what? We won't know. We might not know for months because these ballots are going to be all over. Take a look at what happened in Manhattan. Take a look at what happened in New Jersey. Take a look at what happened in Virginia and other places. They're not losing 2%, 1%, which, by the way, is too much. An election could be won or lost for that. They're losing 30 and 40%. It's a fraud. And it's
unprecedented in American history where the President of the United States calls out election fraud. There is, I don't know, there's no other precedence for it. Where you show me even where like back in the 60s where like Nixon said it or it's Trump is breaking ground in that respect. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. Marcus Conte reporting. Half of the election is over already in early voting, you heard, right? Even here in New York, people lining up to vote. Who are they voting for? They're showing up in record numbers. I might get over there today. I still got my shit, right? I got my piece of paper. They're making it hard, right? Well, because it's hard because I won't be here on November 3rd. So I'm engaging in the early voting process. So today there's a couple of stories. Amy Coney Barrett will be confirmed today. Monday evening, this evening, will be the election in the Senate. 51-48 majority by Senate. It's likely that it's almost guaranteed that no senators will defect, and they'll get all 51, and Amy Coney Barrett will be successfully sworn in as the next Supreme Court Justice. Youngest as well, 48 years old, 46. The youngest. She'll be there for, she lives into her 80s. She'll be there for 40 years, a 40-year reign on the court. Right? It's good stuff, right? Young people on the court. What else we got, man? So there's riots again in New York, right? Peaceful protest, peaceful. You remember that? You remember when they were saying that? Remember when the radical blacks that want to punch everybody's face because they think you have white privilege? Get your white privilege out of here, you privilege. Bow your knee, bow. Get down on your knee and say that you are inferior to the black man, that you're guilty for all the black man's problems in America. Do it, and give $10 to every black you see. That's what they're saying, right? That's some of the shit they were saying. That's crazy. It's crazy. It's insecurity. It's categorically inaccurate, historically inaccurate, blaming people who weren't even there for racism. I wasn't there. I don't fucking know what you're talking about, man. Like slavery and shit. I read the same books you read. I don't have anything to do with that. Why are you putting me there? Am I putting you in the fucking, I don't know, the wars of Africa? I don't know what you're talking about. But somehow I'm the racist. No, the people that came over here set up a system. The British, the Dutch, the Spanish. They were all European descent. That's who they were. They came over here and they set up shit. They set up shop. The Germans. That's the country we have. That's the foundation of the country. If you don't like it, go home, go somewhere else, right? Or acclimate, be civilized, use your intelligence, and stop being a racist. Stop attacking people over race. So that's a touchy subject. A lot of people don't want to hear it. And fucking Joe Biden again, gaffe, admits, seemingly admits election fraud. Not election. I take that back. Voter fraud. He says we have the most sophisticated voter fraud system in existence. Yeah, we know, Joe. We know. Mostly election fraud system. But did he mean what he said? Did he say what he means? I think he was just he parsed his words again. He confused two things. Right? He was trying to say one thing and he said another. And he also said that for the second time he says he's running against George Bush. Right, so that's where we're at. What a fucking time to be alive, man. It is just time check. It is October 10. It's October 26, and we are 8 days away officially from wrapping up this election. Right? No more votes after 8 days. November 8. Will we? Trump claims that we won't get an answer right away. I don't think we will. I mean, because why? Because Trump is in the lead, and they got to fudge that shit. Right? They got to manufacture the consent for the steal. Oh no, Trump. It's close. But why is it close? Why does it take so long to fucking count ballots? Start counting them as they come in. Right? Electronic. It's hard to count electronic votes. It takes seconds. It takes minutes. So it's just, there's a lot of sham. Trump is, a lot of sham and a lot of ripoff going on. Trump is right. This is going to be a fraud like you've never seen. Trump, man. I'm for Trump. I think Trump would be, of the two, firstly, I think Trump will win. Because he has the heart and soul of the people. He has the energy. He has the outsider still. He's the fucking president. He's the biggest insider in the world. And he can project himself as being the outside leader, the guy that's going to oppose those dirty insiders. Trump's masterful at that. And he speaks, he's at least in part, he speaks truth to power. He speaks truth to the corrupt mainstream media. He speaks truth to the racists in this country. He speaks a lot of truth. But I wish he would speak some truth on the fact that there's a 20% unemployment rate in this country, and healthcare would definitely be something that the majority of people would like to have without having to worry about it. Go towards prevention, but Trump is not doing any of that. But nonetheless, to hand the reins, just common sense, right? Politicking aside, common sense, to hand the reins over to a guy named Joe Biden, who is like a ghost of Christmas past. He wants to bring the country back to the age of Obama, right? To rehash the highs of Obama and forget about the lows. It's unrealistic. It's not visionary whatsoever. And the fact that he's very old and he's very, very likely to be senile. He's coming in waves now. His mental fitness is waves. He comes in sharp, and then if you catch him sitting down by himself, he fades away, right? So he's a senile guy, right? And the more he sits in that White House, the more he's going to become senile. Is he capable of jumping on a plane and shaking hands and negotiating with foreign adversaries and keeping the country out of war? Absolutely not. He's way more warlike, Joe Biden is, than Trump. Trump said we would get rid of ISIS, and he did. He found the funding for ISIS was actually our own fucking people funding what we thought were counterinsurgencies within other nations. Trump stopped it, and ISIS went away. Right? We're just gone. Where's fucking ISIS? You haven't heard from them in a long time. But now they're trying to say, oh, Afghanistan. They're in Afghanistan. So Trump's slightly less hawkish, whereas Joe Biden, you heard him in his own words, you got to be tough, and we will not negotiate with terrorists and corrupt leaders. He was talking about Kim Jong-un, who Trump successfully brought to the table and treated like a human being, and was treated like a human being for treating the other guy like a human being. So Trump broke a lot of ground there. So what I'm trying to say is that all things considered, I think that Trump will win, and I think that as far as who I think would be better for the country at this point, I think Trump would. We lean slightly in a better direction with Trump leading, and then 4 more years, the Democrats can try to pick a real candidate, maybe a young Bernie Sanders, a visionary who's for the people, is not a racist, doesn't have a racial agenda. A lot on the Democratic side, a lot on the ultra liberal side needs to be fixed, because it's moved towards radicalism. They realize that their voices aren't being heard, and all they do is mobilize for radical stuff, right? Fucking break shit, burn shit. Right? Can't run a country like that. Or maybe you can. But the point is they need to flush out their vision. They need to come together. It's way more divided, the liberal left. Although there are good ideas, as I say, I'm no left, I'm no right. I take the best of both worlds. I think that the right has a better, when you're talking about conservatism in government, sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes to keep things the same is good for business, whereas the Democrats are constantly tearing shit down and ripping shit up and starting over, and that's bad for business. You get a high unemployment rate like that. You get a lot of uncertainty, a lot of untrust, and you empower idiots. You empower radical racists. They shouldn't be empowered. They should be shut, shush, and listen sometimes. Man. So anyway, man. So good morning, everybody in the chat. Vinny DiMartini on the chat. Maybe we'll do an evening show this week. Trump versus Biden. That's it. Trump versus Biden. What's your opinion? Right? Or Biden versus Trump? No, Trump versus Biden. Trump goes first. Versus Biden, right? And just we'll have a call in and see what people think, right? Because hey, I'm just one guy, just one opinion. I think my thought is that Trump wins. And even if he has to wrestle it out of their hands, man, fuck it, peaceful transition of power. What does that mean? It means that, according to the Democrats, we rip you off, and then you're supposed to go peacefully. That's what that means to them, man. Peaceful transition of power to me is that you have an election, a fair election, that everybody agrees is a fair election. And then if you win, you seize power. If you lose, you bow out gracefully and go home. Go back to your, billionaire lifestyle in the case of Trump, right? Why does he care? So what's up? Good morning, everybody in chat. Vinny DiMartini on the chat. Weevil girls here. Gigi. D Gulang. Mike Fletcher's here. Mad Cow Mark. What's up, Mad Cow? It's Martin Graffita. Martin. Hi, Martin. Hi, Martin. Hi, Martin. George's son. Aaron Brooks. Everybody's here. So good morning, everybody, man. We just wait for some more people to get here. And we're off. And we are off and running. So kindly become a Patreon of this channel. It keeps it free, right? I'm asking you to donate, and I'm also in a serious move right now. So I could use any funds, any help with that. Patreon, PayPal, right? It's a big move. It's a big deal, right? I'm in the middle of. Oh man, I'm happy and sad at the same time, man. I feel I got to talk about that. Man. Talk about this shit, man. Politics can wait, right? So I'm moving, right? And I feel like wow, I've been in New York City, for the I'm in my 50s, mid 50s, and I've been here 50 years. Right? I mean, there's times that I've lived outside of the city for college. I lived abroad for a little while. Lived in fucking Bangkok, hung out there, and where else? Las Vegas as a kid, but for the most part, I am the quintessential New Yorker. Hold on a second. The fucking heat comes up in this building now. It's hot. Hold on. I don't know why they turn the heat on in these old buildings. I'll miss that. I'll miss free heat and free hot water, or included in your rent. Right? So I forgot what I was going to say, but I'm gonna miss New York. I'm gonna miss it. I walk around now, and I'm almost sometimes holding back tears. I'm like it's a tearjerker. Right? And did I get priced out? Did I get pushed out? No. I've been wanting to get a different perspective outside of New York for a while now. This has been in my head for a while, like a year or two. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of fucking. I got tired of it. It'll be nice to visit, It really, and I'll never not come back to New York. But it is sad. It is. I know. It's transition, right? It's a transition in life. You know what I'm saying? And, we got to deal with it, man. So anyway, man. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm talking about myself, man. So kindly become that Patreon, a Patreon of the channel to support. And if you could, if you want to make it's not a GoFundMe thing, but if you want to fund a little bit, throw a little cash in the tip jar to help the move, right? I got, everything's expensive. Everything you do is fucking expensive. And most of all, it's interesting today we're talking about black racists who attacked Trump. I got the video. I gotta skate on thin ice with this because the only video I can find of the event, the good video, is Rupley, and they don't like fair use. They strike your channel. So we're gonna show little clips of it, and then I found another clip on Sun. But you see a woman punch right here. You see this fucking skinny lady punch this man in the face, and the guy just throws it to the ground or pushes her away, whatever. You'll see it. But that's what's going on in New York right now, man. Shit is fucking stupid, man. So let's watch a little. I was trying to tell you who this is. This is Chunk the Groundhog. I love this guy, man. I fucking love Chunk. So there's a bunch of groundhogs. They live in this place. I don't know where they are, but you could see it's their pets. They're not confined groundhogs. They live under that house for the most part. They can come and go as they please, and they choose to feed in the yard. Right? Just something like, I don't know, something wonderful about watching groundhogs eat, drinking water. They come out. It's such a great thing, right? You live in the country, right? You can have a couple of pet groundhogs in the yard. What's he eating now? Loves his apple. It's got an apple. It's apple season. It's apple season up north. This is what I want. This is, look, a fucking rat. A rat is trying to get a little snack at night. So what? It's beautiful. I think that's a possum, right? It's an overgrown rat or a possum. I don't know. But Chunk the Groundhog, man. Chunk rocks, man. Fucking love Chunk. What's up, Chunk? He looked right in the camera. Oh, shit. What's up, man? What's up, fucking Chunk the Groundhog? Yeah, see, they live under the house. See this hole over here? They live in. You'll see him go in there. So anyway, man, that's Chunk, man. I introduced you. Yeah, it's a possum. So let's talk about the world, right? Because that is the world. You see Chunk the groundhog sitting around watching Chunk the groundhog, or bird watch, or just walking in the quiet. That's real. That's the real shit, man. You know what the worst part of art is? I'll tell you the worst part. The worst part of pursuing artistic endeavors like music, or even this, a video personality kind of thing, is you have to spend a lot of time alone, and that's just a prerequisite. You have to develop on your own, and that requires being alone. It doesn't require being lonely. There's a difference. Being lonely is a sense of yearning for other people. Being alone and working is totally different. That's why when I do this report on the street, I'm always by myself. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody involved in the play. I just want to talk to people that I meet randomly. And that's kind of, you're coming from your place of alone, man. It's just, or when you're learning like an instrument or something, you got to be alone. So that's the tragedy of the artist, the tragedy. So let's just briefly talk about Amy Coney Barrett. Amy. Hello, Amy. So welcome your new Supreme Court Justice. Amy Coney Barrett expected to be confirmed as next Supreme Court Justice today. This is New York Post reporting, 8 a.m., a few hours ago. But we've known this. The vote is tonight. Amy Coney Barrett is poised to become President Trump's third Supreme Court Justice when the full Republican-led Senate votes on her nomination on Monday evening. That's tonight. More than just more than 1 week away from Election Day. 7 days, 8 days, 8 days. Senate Republicans cleared the latest procedural hurdle on a 51-48 vote to advance Barrett's nomination to the Senate during a rare Sunday session. The Senate Judiciary voted 12-0 last Thursday to advance Barrett's nomination to the Senate after Democrats on the panel boycotted the hearing, arguing that it was being rushed by Republicans to ensure Barrett was seated on the court. So all the Democrats, the Senate Judiciary, I didn't know that, Senate Judiciary Committee was, I guess it's 12, it's mostly, the Democrats felt like they couldn't win. They don't want to hear anything about Amy Coney Barrett and her accomplishments or her, judgeship. All they want to hear about is how many votes do we have to not make it happen? And if we can't do that, we're not even going to show up. So they're totally shut down. It's shut down government. So I wonder if they'll boycott tonight. They should just stay home, right? Because the 51 senators are going to vote for Amy Coney Barrett tonight. And 48 Democrats can go stick it up their ass, right? Because who cares? So why even show up like they did with judicial? So the Judiciary Committee. So they boycotted that. Schumer, the majority leader of the Senate, said Republicans left his caucus no choice because Barrett is the most illegitimate, because Barrett is, quote, this is Schumer, the most illegitimate process I have ever witnessed in the Senate. Wow. Oh, yeah? Fucking Chuck Schumer. What a loser. That's New York, right? That's why I'm getting the fuck away from this place. That's your senator from New York. Right? Congratulations, Chuck Schumer. Yeah. The most illegitimate process with no evidence. Why? Because you don't like her opinion? It's so bullshit. Because the president of the United States picked the candidate? That's what he's supposed to do. What's illegitimate about it? You may not like it, but it's not illegitimate. It's completely legitimate. It's the way it's supposed to go. Let's get on with it. Let's do our job, says Mitch McConnell, finally. He didn't say that when Obama wanted, what was that guy's name? Merrick Garnell? I forgot the guy's name, man. But you remember when Obama had his pick, he had his Supreme Court pick. And the Republicans shit all over him, man. They said no fucking way. For a year, they held it back, right? The Senate because the Republicans control the Senate. Now that they control the Senate, they say, oh, let's push it right through. Push it right through. It's politics, right? It's all politics. It's all shady. It's fucked up, right? It's divided. It's divided we fall. It's really what it is. Republicans who control the chamber, 53-47, are expected to easily pass Barnett's nomination tonight, especially following Senator Lisa Murkowski saying Saturday that she would vote for Barnett to be placed on the high court after initially opposing it so close to the election. All right, so there we go. We'll watch her. Is there any news on this? Doesn't she love?
We sent Nicole Malliotakis to Albany to fight for us, but she fought to raise our property taxes by thousands. Why? To cut taxes for corporations, including drug companies responsible for the opioid crisis. Don't send her to Washington to do the same. Re-elect Max Rose.
Motion to report the nomination of Amy.
That's local politics in New York. Remember Max Rose? That's the jerk off that I chased down in the street. If you look at the videos, if you go Marcus Conte, Max Rose, search in YouTube, you'll see the videos where I chased him down. I asked him a simple democratic question. Max, are you for a single-payer healthcare for all system? And he wouldn't answer. He wouldn't answer because he's full of shit. And he takes money from the pharmaceutical companies that we found out, right? And he blamed the other guy for doing the same thing. Anyway, that's local politics. Let's listen to Lindsey Graham.
Coney Barrett to be an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. The clerk will call the roll. Favorably to the floor. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Grassley.
Aye.
Mr. Cornyn. Aye. Mr. Lee. Aye. Mr. Cruz. Aye. Mr. Sass. Aye. Mr. Hawley. Aye. Mr. Tillis. Aye. Ms. Ernst. Aye. Mr. Crapo. Mr. Kennedy. Aye. Mrs. Blackburn. Aye. Mrs. Feinstein. Mr. Leahy.
So you got nothing but, I guess
Mr.
we're looking at nothing but
Mr. Whitehouse.
nothing.
Ms.
They put
Klobuchar.
pictures in their place.
Mr.
The Democrats, they're so creative. Look, they put pictures of themselves instead of showing up. Oh, how mature, how fucking mature, right? So anyway, that's a done deal. That is done deal. She will be Amy Coney Barrett will be the next Supreme Court justice for sure. We'll find out, confirmed tonight. Tomorrow it'll be on the headlines. So Trump to immediately fire. I don't know if the story how valid it is, but Trump to immediately fire FBI, CIA directors if reelected. Whoa, that's heavy, right? It's draining his own swamp, right? He drains the swamp, fills it up, and then drains it again, right? That's what Trump's doing. President Trump will immediately move to fire FBI Director Christopher Wray and CIA Director Gina Haspel, along with Defense Secretary Mark Esper, according to Axios, which spoke to people who've discussed these officials' fates with the president. I don't know. I don't know how credible it is, but I think it's smart for Trump to get rid of that FBI guy who sat on his hands. He sits on his hands, right? Where's fucking what about the corrupt Democrats? Lock them up already. Lock somebody up. Right? Hillary Clinton. They never looked into any of that shit. The CIA director Gina Haspel. Fucking CIA is corrupt, man. Look at the shit. The CIA feeds that information directly to the Washington Post, and that's under the direction, whether she agrees to it or not. Somebody is making it happen from the CIA, and that would be Gina Haspel and Defense Secretary Mark Esper. I don't have much to say about that guy, but certainly the FBI and the CIA has not been very nice to Trump, has not been very nice to the American people. Instead, they've been continuing the propaganda machine. So, and while the list of pink slips is allegedly much longer, Trump's top priority is getting rid of Wray, whose FBI sat on alleged evidence of Biden corruption in Ukraine, contained on Hunter Biden's laptop, along with alleged child porn, while Trump was impeached for asking Ukrainians to investigate exactly that. Right? So now the evidence is on the table. Hunter Biden was involved in shenanigans in the Ukraine, took money from China, a lot of corrupt shit. The father, Joe Biden, then vice president, got a cut for the big guy, as they said. No investigation, nothing. Just let it go. Right? Let it flop. And Trump for merely wanting to speak to the president of a foreign nation and say, "Can you kindly look into this stuff?" He was impeached. Right? And where's Chuck Schumer now? Chuck Schumer saying the most corrupt fucking shit that ever happened. That was so corrupt. That was so corrupt to impeach President Trump for talking to the leader of a foreign nation to investigate some corruption that we may have been having on our own soil. Right? That's not corruption. That's called investigative journalism. That's called finding out what the fuck went on, right, and reporting it back to the American people. Right? So yeah, I say I hope this article's true, and I hope the sources are true. And Trump, upon re-election, scraps all of these idiots. Gets rid of Ray, gets rid of this fucking lady Haspel, the CIA spook, and get rid of all of them, man. You know what I'm saying, man? Fuck it, start over, man. Start over. It's a new day. It's a new day. So what else we got? All right, so here's Joe Biden, the big gaffe, man. It's fucking ridiculous, man. You can't believe what he's going to say here, right? So Joe Biden, he's not senile. He's not too old. So this is October 24. This is 2 days ago. I didn't jump on it yesterday because I don't know. I couldn't find a clip that was. I missed it. So I'm talking about it today, right? I'm talking about it late, but it's a day late, and I bet most of you haven't seen it either. Joe Biden brags about having, quote, the most extensive and exclusive voter fraud organization in history. I would just tweak that. It's not voter fraud. It's election fraud. But here he is, the gaffe king. Now, let's watch it and then discuss. Is he saying exactly what he means? Is he saying what it seems like he means? I don't know. Let's listen.
Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
That's unbelievable, right? The most extensive and inclusive. What he was trying to say. He was trying to say anti-fraud organization. That's what he was trying to say. I mean, you got to be fair, right? He was saying that we have this.
We're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our the President Obama's administration.
God, I hope this guy loses.
Before this, we have put together, I think.
You know what the good news is? If Biden loses, you'll never see him again. He will go quietly, right? Because Hillary Clinton hung on because she still has a little juice left in her. But Biden's old and senile. He don't fucking know what's going on anymore. He'll be gone, man. So cross your fingers. You don't have to look at this guy, right? You don't have to fucking look at him, man.
The most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
I think what he meant to say is anti-voter fraud shit in the country. But nonetheless, there he is, man. There's Joe Biden, gaffe king. Can you trust him at the? Can you trust him at the table? Can you trust him at the table to negotiate when if that was translated, say to Russian, or translated into Chinese, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, cheat. Oh, you cheat. You fucking cheat. You're a fucking cheat. You're a fucking cheat." Right? That's what they would say, right? Yeah, cheat.
We're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our the President Obama's administration.
And that's it. Obama. He's running the Obama campaign, right?
Before this, we have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
Hold on a second.
Secondly, extensive, I think the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
Fucking loser, man. So wait, but there's more, right? So there's Joe Biden with a gaffe, got his fucking foot in his mouth a week before the election. Again, to clarify, voter fraud is when voters vote twice, 3 times. They're not eligible to vote. They jump over the fence. They vote and jump back over the fence and go back where they're from. That's voter fraud. Election fraud is when the motherfuckers, the very people that are executing the election, the elected officials who are defending the system because they don't want to get voted out, and they tweak the numbers. That is election fraud. That is that is the fucking problem. That's the problem. Trump is, for the first time in American history, Trump is telling us that there's massive election fraud. Election fraud. Right. Sending people, for example, if Trump was going to say that voters are voting twice, well, how is that possible? Who sent them 2 ballots? Right? Who allowed it to happen? That's the point. That's the point. Right? So here's Joe Biden, forgetting who he's running against.
This is the most consequential, not because I'm running, but because who I'm running against. This is the most consequential election in a long time. And the character of the country, in my view, is literally on the ballot. What kind of country we're going to be? 4 more years of Georgia, 4
more years of Georgia J.
Georgia, going to find ourselves in a Georgia. What kind of country we're going to be? 4 more years of Georgia, 4 more years of Georgia, going to find ourselves in a position where, if Trump gets elected, we're going to be in a different world.
A different world, yeah, fucking different world. What kind of different world? So that's another one, man. And you see the wife. You remember the wife? She was standing next to him one time at the podium, and Joe Biden called her Jill, his sister. And I want to introduce you to my sister. Come on, man, give it up for my sister. Oh no, that's my wife. Where's my sister? This is my sister. You didn't even know who his sister fucking was, man. Joe Biden. Today, Joe Biden thought he was running against George Bush for real. Yeah. I would say real. He doesn't, he's senile. The guy doesn't know, I mean, what kind of a fucking era? What kind of an era? That's an unclear mind says that. An unclear person. A person who is I don't know, maybe he's maybe it's like a doper or something. Who knows? You should test that guy. Fucking test that motherfucker. Why they test people? They test police officers. Why not test the president? See, do a dope test, and see if he's doping, just for the hell of it. The embarrassing episode occurred just a day after Biden claimed that he had assembled, quote, the greatest voter fraud organization in history. Of course, Democrats just shrugged this off as another example of Biden being Biden. Oh yeah, it's just being Biden. That's what he does. IDC, if he's running against George Jetson, I'm voting for him. George Jetson. George J. So that's the gaffe king, Joe Biden. And so here we go. So I want to show you this. I want to show you what happened, but it's hard because of this, because of the nature. I'm going to play it without. I'll try to play it without audio. Maybe it won't get detected. But here is a clip very briefly, I just want to show you. I just want to show you a little bit of it. Again, we're not allowed to do this. This is called fair use. Excuse me, Rupley and the rest, and we're allowed to do this. This is in the United States. We are allowed to do that. If you strike the channel, you'll have to appear in court, and you will lose. Right? So stop doing it. Right? You're the only one that was there to see it. So therefore, we're going to show it. So here's a girl. I'll just show you very quickly. There's a guy and a girl, and then we'll go to another video. So there's some kind of square off, right? And watch. The guy's walking at her, and the woman punched him in the face. You saw it, right? So skinny little woman punches the guy in the face, and then all shit breaks loose, right? Then now it's a ruckus. So that's all I want to show there. But here the son has a little clip too. I wasn't there. I can tell you where it is. It's Times Square. It's Times Square, and it got kind of bloody. It got kind of crazy, right? You see a lot of clips here, right? And they're motherfuckers. Right? They're jumping all over the guy. Here's arrests, right? Rounding these fuckers up, right? And it's Times Square. That clip was from Times Square. Allegedly, it was Jews for Trump rally. Let's watch this clip. This clip is. So here's where it takes off, right? You saw the guy. You know now that the guy got punched in the face because of the other clip, right? You know what I'll do? If you want to watch it, that's not fair of me. Here, in the chat, there is the clip. If you want to watch the Rupley clip, there it is. All right, so you can watch it on your own, and you'll know the background to it. So a guy gets out of the car. The thugs, the scumbags show up at the rally, Jews for Trump rally, to instigate, to antagonize, to create distension, to create uneasiness. That's not protest. That's called that's antagonizing people. You show up and you get punched in the face, and then now you're complaining. Don't show up, or be peaceful. Stick to your guns and be peaceful. No, you don't want. They don't want to be peaceful. They want to fight. So here's the guy. He got jumped. He got jumped by about five, 6, 7 thugs. You don't see that in this clip, but you'll see it in the other one if you watch it. You got people dragging him, kicking him. The daughter is trying to, you see bloodied up face. Sticks flying. All right, so he gets away. Times Square. 42nd Street, maybe? 43rd.
They assaulted my daughter. Move.
Swinging at the press. Oh, they fucked up his car. They're throwing spitballs at his car. Look who it is. Look, it's the usual suspects. Look at all the fucking criminals. Right? They're all there. Not the press, but you know what I'm saying. The jerk offs on bikes, kicking people. Right? They came for a fight. I don't know what this is, but somebody cut this in. Right? Meanwhile, Trump on the highway, right? I think Giuliani is in this crowd. Let's just watch. It's a few minutes. There's Rudy.
Are you giving a speech somewhere?
Don't let the animals bother you. 4 more years. Oh, I can't take any money.
Be careful. These people are crazy.
Yeah.
This is what's left of the radical left. This is it. Hey, we made an arrest. Lock that motherfucker. He wasn't involved. Oh, you remember her? You remember the fucking crazy dyke? There she is again, right? Right in the middle of the mix, aggravating. Remember her? It's the same. Boom, there she is. It's the same fucking creeps. Pull her wig off, man. That's a wig. Pull that fucking wig off. You remember her? She was at the Bay Ridge, over here, the riots here. These people are fucking trash, man. A bunch of people protesting for Jews. But there you go, man. There's some of the imagery, right? I guess he was involved, right? And there's fucking the Scarecrow guy. Not Scarecrow. I forgot his name. I know. I see that guy all over the place. He's actually a nice guy, but he always seems to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. So there you have it, man. The shit is breaking out, right? Fucking. This is politics now. This is how we handle ourselves. This is how we handle other. There's a sadness to it. I mean, the guy. It's clearly racially motivated, right? They're attacking him because he's white and they think Trump is for the whites. Since when is Biden for the blacks? Show me some evidence that Biden is for the blacks. Biden is for free stuff? No, he's not. He's gonna hand if Biden gets elected, the second Biden is elected, he will hand the keys over to the establishment. He will hand the keys over to the banks and the oligarchs, the billionaire class, and say, "How can I help you? How can we make this economy boom?" That's what he'll say. And you don't ask the people that are draining the fucking economy and beating us into the ground how they can help. You get rid of them. Neither Trump nor Biden fully understands that. I think Sanders did understand it to some degree, but he didn't have any backbone. He didn't have the ability to stand up for himself and say it when it mattered. Right? He said it when it didn't matter. He said it, and then when they cheated him, he didn't have the balls to continue to say it. Instead, he said, "Yeah, my guy, the guy that I was just telling you is a shit sandwich and is a corrupt politician and takes the money from Wall Street. Vote for him. No, I changed my mind. He's better than Trump, who's doing the same thing. It doesn't even make sense, man. So anyway, man. So that's the riots in New York City. And it's ugly, it's ugly, and I didn't see this per se. I guess this was a Sunday afternoon, and pretty pleased with Sugar. Root, please don't fucking tear it down. So if voter fraud wasn't bad enough, in Massachusetts, officials ask FBI to probe fire set in Boston ballot box. Look at this. They got ballot boxes on the street. That's safe. All right. It's like a garbage pail. Here, put your ballot in the garbage, right? Because that's pretty much what you're doing these days. Look at the governor of the state. Look at who runs the board of elections in the state and see what party they lean for, and that's who's going to win. That's what they do. In New York, fucking 200,000 votes. They're mysterious votes. They might be for Bernie Sanders. Throw those shits in the garbage. Don't even count them. California, we got, 2 million? Whoa, fucking 2 million extra ballots? Where did those come from? Oh, those are people that voted in the rural areas of California. Oh, they must be for Biden. They must be for Bernie. Don't count those. Just come on. Call the election. It's we're backing Hillary. So in Massachusetts, that's the corrupt Democratic Party, right? You can't vote for these people. You can't support them. Again, Republicans are no different. We're not voting Republican. I don't care. For me, I just think it's funny. It would be Trump is his humor is brilliant. His presence is phenomenal. I just wish he would come around on policy. Right? Fight for the people. Give people if Trump could just give people health care that they can believe in, right? And not worry about being sick, that would be a big deal. Right? Big deal. Leaning towards prevention, Trump style. You come into the hospital fat and overweight and with 1,000 ailments. Great, go to the fat farm. Right. Shame people into being healthy. I think that's where we are right now. But here we go. Massachusetts officials asked FBI to probe fire set in a fucking ballot box. A Boston ballot box was set on fire early Sunday in what appears to be a deliberate attack, according to local officials who called the incident a disgrace to democracy. That's putting it mildly. Burning the ballots. Burning. Throwing fucking matches inside of a ballot. Wow. Wow. It's like they're treating it like a trash bin. Authorities in Massachusetts have asked the FBI to investigate the blaze, which was sparked around 4 a.m. outside the main branch of the Boston Public Library. The drop box held 122 ballots, 35 of which were largely spoiled. Massachusetts Secretary of Commonwealth Galvin's official office said. So it wasn't that bad of a hit. 122 ballots, 35 of which are spoiled. Galvin, the Boston mayor, Marty Walsh, Galvin and Boston mayor Marty Walsh blasted the act as a disgrace to democracy, a disrespect to the voters fulfilling their civic duty, and a crime. Boston police on Sunday released 2 images of a possible suspect in the arson investigation. They got a suspect. In one image, the man appears to be holding an object with a glowing flame near the ballot box. Officers called to the scene saw smoke pouring out of the box. The firefighters managed to put out the flames by filling it with water. Excuse me. The drop box had been emptied around 2:30 p.m. on Saturday, so they didn't get the lion's share. Or maybe they did. Voters who used it between, and now this, what happens now is this sets off a copycat. Copycats. Oh, they got the ballots, the ballot boxes out in front of the library. Go throw your cigarette in there, fucking, and throw some light shit in there. Copycats, watch out. Now you'll see copycats doing this. Voters who used it between Saturday afternoon, 4 a.m. and Sunday can't confirm online whether their ballot was processed should immediately contact the Boston Elections Department. Great. So if you threw your ballot in there, go fucking stand up for yourself and stand in line and be counted, right? So make sure that your ballot is counted. Those whose ballots were affected can either vote in person or by a replacement ballot that will be mailed to them. If they don't, their original ballot will be hand counted to the extent possible. So that's a new one. There you go, man. Fucking burning the ballot box. That's a great idea. Burn the motherfucker. And it's official. The New York Post has officially endorsed President Donald J. Trump. Now, I like the Post. I talk about the Post. I've gone after the Post. I call them out when they put out a fake story, especially with the stupid real estate shit that they were trying to pull here in New York, where they were vilifying certain areas, and then they were doing a real, so that the real estate people could do a fucking power grab in that neighborhood. And they were trying to say that junkies and homeless are taking over the neighborhood. And these are fucking amazing neighborhoods. They're talking about the Upper West Side of Manhattan. You're talking about Park Avenue. Somebody taking over shit. They're just living outside. They're living outside. We got a homeless problem. That goes away in New York for the most part. Remember, New York, it's in the winter, is fucking 10 degrees, 15 degrees, 20 degrees. It's cold in New York. New York, January, February, it's cold, man. There's no homeless people outside. They take off, man. So that goes away. But the New York Post has been guilty of fake articles and bullshit. But for the most part, New York Post is not a tabloid. They're the ones who rightfully released the Hunter Biden laptop scam. What was on Hunter Biden's laptop, and that was Rudy Giuliani gave it to the Post. So the New York Post is an outstanding publication sometimes. So we can return to the explosive job creation, rising wages, and general prosperity we had before the pandemic. For who? For you, New York Post. We can have economic freedom and opportunity and resist cancel culture and censorship. Really. What is Trump? I mean, Trump's, William Barr, they're going after censorship a little bit, but But not really, man. We got so screwed, man. We're getting so fucking screwed here. So anyway, man. So New York Post, thank you, New York Post has officially endorsed Donald J. Trump. So that's all I got today. It's a little short today. I'm not going to go on for 2 hours. So Mark's Conte reporting. Thank you all for joining, and definitely become a Patreon of this channel. Very important. If you'd like to assist in my big move through PayPal, drop a couple of dollars in there. And because it's important, man. It's important, man. Because without this speech, I don't see many people really doing this. Talking in circles, man. Thank you very much. Another thing. Let's get some other music. Let's get this one. This one. Thank you, everybody. Mark's Conte reporting. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Vinny D. March, Manc, thank you so much for your ongoing support, everybody in the crowd. Don't thank me. Thank yourself, man. Thank yourself for keeping the shit going. I'm still here, man. Vinny D. Martin, Grafita, Jessley Snipes is here, Ginger Ard, VG Fan, TJ, Evil Girl, Mike Fletcher, TJ, Flowers in your hair. Everybody's here today. Thank you very much for being part of this straight up truth channel. That's all. I try to keep telling the truth. I try to tell the truth, man. Nothing but the truth, so help me God.